A very good evening and welcome to the news tonight here. I'm Tracy Shilshi. In the next 30 minutes, I'll be getting you all the day's top stories, starting with the headlines. Heated exchanges in Rajya Sabha on the Rohit Vemla suicide case. HRD Minister Smriti Irani replies to Mayawati, gives details of action taken by government on the issue. Congress objects to BJP MP Anurag Thakur's remarks on Rahul Gandhi in Wednesday's debate on the JNU crisis. Thakur had charged the UPA as well with giving political colour to the Ishrat encounter case. The Economic Survey sees India as haven of stability in a gloomy international economic landscape. Projects a prospective growth rate of 7 to 7.5% for the financial year. Supreme Court issues notices to 3 lawyers on the JNU Students' Union President Kanhaiya Kumar's assault case. Delhi police questions JNU students together for 5 hours. And Iran votes on President Hassan Rouhani's rule. Voters to select 88 clerics to Assembly of Experts that monitors work of Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. Our top story, the opposition today came down heavily on the government over the controversy surrounding the JNU incident and the suicide of a PhD scholar in the Hyderabad Central University. The government, however, put up a spirited defense, with HRD Minister Smriti Irani again giving the details of the action taken in Rohit Vemla's suicide case.
He said we are not interested. Why do you want the...
For the third consecutive day, the government faced flack from the opposition over the controversy surrounding JNU and the suicide of a Dalit scholar in HCU. Replying to BSP Chief Mayawati's demand of inclusion of a Dalit member in the inquiry committee on Rohit Vemla's suicide, HRD Minister Smriti Irani gave the details of action taken by the government so far. She said the one-member commission appointed is capable of conducting a fair inquiry.
That the judge who has thus been appointed, served in the Allahabad High Court till the year 2010, I believe. And you can correct me if I'm wrong. And whatever administrative history I remember of the state of Uttar Pradesh, Behenji herself was chief minister there, while this judge who has been appointed in the one-man judicial commission served. This is a judge who has served diligently in Uttar Pradesh. I am sure that she will have absolutely no challenge to the fact that this judge is capable within his capacities to deliver justice.
The BSP chief, however, not only refused to accept the government's arguments but also accused it of being anti-Dalit.
कि सरकार कमीशन में एक से ज़्यादा सदस्य बना सकती है, तो फिर सरकार रोहित के मामले में कमीशन को बनाते समय इसमें एक से ज़्यादा सदस्य बना सकती थी और अब भी बना सकती है, लेकिन सरकार अभी तक भी इस मामले में अपनी चुप्पी साधे हुए है। इससे इनकी दलित विरोधी मानसिकता हमें साफ नजर आती है।
This led to a sharp exchange of words between Mayawati and the HRD minister. CPIM General Secretary Sitaram Yechuri also took on the government, saying the HRD minister's statement on Thursday did not include authenticated facts.
If somebody is authenticated to the minister, I am saying without the authentication here, under the constitution, this constitution in which they have taken oath as ministers, will they present anything here on that basis of that authentication? And on what basis are you talking of this? She is quoted in Macbeth to say, fair is foul. Fair is foul, foul is fair. And she is making all foul fair. She is making all foul fair here without any authentication. Now, who gave that authentication?
Finance Minister and Leader of the House Arun Jaitley defended his colleague, saying everything said by her was authenticated.
You are speaking only on record. Please get the record of this debate.
Yeah, I will.
Let's decide a lot of what you are saying, because every word that the minister has spoken, she has it authenticated by the registrar of university. What is the kind of pamphlets which were circulated? She is not coming out with fiction. And therefore you've said something about Atalji and Indiraji from the record of the House. Please bring it.
As the arguments continued, the deputy chairman assured the members that he would go through the records to check the authenticity of facts mentioned.
Please, Minister, please sit down, Minister. Please take your seat. I will
Once
see.
condemn the charge,
Now, please,
this
I
is
will
not
go through
some
the
mere
record.
pamphlet.
Now,
This is
please,
unpermitted
Minister, please
communication.
don't do this. I will go through the records and see if the documents which she has quoted has been authenticated and subject to rules if the authentication is valid or not, and I will come back to the House.
Yes.
Now you conclude, please.
The upper house had witnessed a sharp exchange of words between the Treasury and opposition benches on the same issue on Wednesday and Thursday too. Vishal Daya's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, the Lok Sabha too witnessed heated exchanges over the statement of BJP MP Anurag Thakur on Rahul Gandhi on Wednesday. On the other hand, Thakur had referred to the interview of former Home Secretary G.K. Pillai to state that the UPA is giving a political colour to the Ishrat Jahan encounter case.
After question hour in the Lok Sabha, the Congress alleged that BJP MP Anurag Thakur levelled serious charges against party Vice President Rahul Gandhi. Leader of the Congress Mallikarjun Kharge objected to statements that allegedly refer to Rahul Gandhi as an anti-national. The statement was made during Wednesday's debate on the JNU issue.
And Rahul Gandhi still persists on the record as part of Sri Anurag Thakur's speech, which alleged that Sri Rahul Gandhi was supporting anti-national activity. I request you to delete these two names from the reference, which I am going to give, and make the proceedings correct.
Speaker Sumitra Mahajan assured the Congress of taking appropriate action.
I will have to see.
Anurag Thakur raised the issue of former Home Secretary G.K. Pillai's revelations in the Ishrat Jahan encounter case. He claimed that the UPA government tried to give it a political colour.
6 अगस्त 2009 को एफिडेविट दायर किया गया पूर्व सरकार के समय और सितंबर महीने में उसको बदल दिया गया। एनकाउंटर 2004 में हुआ मैडम, ये प्रशंसन खड़ा किया जाता था कि ये फेक एनकाउंटर है मैडम, लेकिन ऐसा नहीं था, ये एक सोची समझी साजिश थी अपने राजनीतिक प्रतिद्वंदियों को खत्म करने के लिए जो पूर्व सरकार ने की थी।
The former Home Secretary has stated to drop Ishrat Jahan's possible links with terror outfit Lashkar-e-Taiba in a Home Ministry affidavit which was taken at the political level by the former UPA government. Pranav Goswami's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
Meanwhile, ahead of the Union Budget, Finance Minister Arun Jaitley tabled the Economic Survey 2015-16 in Parliament today. The survey projects a 7 to 7.5% GDP growth rate in the next fiscal, while for the current fiscal it has estimated a growth rate of 7.6%. Here are some more highlights of the survey.
India stands as a haven of stability in a gloomy international economic landscape. With this optimistic view, Chief Economic Advisor Arvind Subramaniam pegged a growth rate of 7 to 7.5% for the next fiscal in the Economic Survey of 2015-16. He added that the growth could accelerate to 8% and above in a couple of years. But he also cautioned that if the world economy remained weak, India's growth will face considerable headwinds.
If the world slows down, we will slow down as well. And so, our slowing down should not be blamed on what India does or does not do.
In the survey, Subramaniam has enumerated 3 downside risks: turmoil in the global economy that could worsen the export outlook. Contrary to expectations, oil price rise would increase the drag from consumption, and the most serious risk could be the combination of both these factors.
There is a scenario, which is I think the worst case scenario, where because of supply disruptions, oil prices could go up and world growth could decline, which would be the worst case scenario from an Indian point of view.
The survey also stresses the importance of carrying forward the reform process to achieve macroeconomic stability. On the domestic side, the survey says 2 factors can boost consumption: increased spending from higher wages and allowances of government workers if the 7th Pay Commission is implemented, and the return of normal monsoon. To resolve the problem of India's ailing public sector banks and some corporate houses, the Economic Survey suggests a 4R approach of recognition, recapitalization, resolution and reform. The survey expects growth in the services sector, a key driver of overall growth, to be at 9.2% in 2015-16. It has also advocated rationalizing LPG subsidy, calling for cutting supply of below-market priced cooking gas to 10 cylinders per household in 1 year from the current 12 cylinders. Market experts and economists, however, seem to hold a different view.
There is one thing which is a big of a handicap, and that is that the corporate sector is not performing very well.
5% target of this year will be achieved of inflation, but next year I'm worried about more next year.
After the government report, the stock markets posted their first daily gain in 4 sessions and the rupee also recovered. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Now, the budget last year gave a lot of hope, especially to the skill training sector. It gave hope of honing skills required by the industry, but experts feel that the Skill India mission needs more money and proper certification process for the youth. As per the latest data released today in the Economic Survey, the enrollment of the government's flagship program, the Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana, is less than half of the target of this financial year. Here's a report.
The Modi government is banking on large-scale skilling of Indian youth to revive the manufacturing sector. Skilling is also important for the success of other flagship programs like Make in India, Stand Up India and Start Up India. According to the National Sample Survey, over 11 crore workers that will enter the labour market in the next 6 years need to be trained.
Government should motivate industry, academia and training institution to come together and motivate some of the universities to get into skill development. On one hand, there should be SSC certification, Sector Skill Council certification, which is industry recognized. On the other hand, academic certification, which is university accredited. And that would help a lot of students who are currently, this is not aspirational, but probably this will help to become aspirational.
By 2022, nearly 30 crore people in the existing workforce will be required to learn new skills. The government has set an ambitious target of enrolling 24 lakh youth under the Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana in this financial year. However, as per the latest data, the number of beneficiaries stand at little over 11.5 lakhs. Under the scheme, skill centers would impart 200 hours of fresh training and 80 hours training for upgradation of earlier skills.
60% of the jobs which are available earlier are no longer available today. So there are new skill sets which are required. So Uber and Ola are the clear examples as to what is happening. The IT industry is losing jobs. But what will the IT industry do? The IT industry will, some people could get involved in robotics, some people could. So these are the new areas which are coming in. So you have to keep shifting. The job shift will continue to happen.
The government allocated over 1,500 crore rupees to the Ministry of Skill Development in the last budget. But importing skills to India's 450 million strong workforce is a daunting task. According to the government's own estimates, less than 5% Indians have some sort of formal training. The figure of skilled workforce is over 50% in the United States of America, 80% in Japan and 96% in South Korea. Anshu Jaising's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
All right, changing focus now to the other national news of the day. While the JNU debate rocked the parliament session for the 3rd day in a row, the Supreme Court issued notices to 3 lawyers for allegedly bragging on camera about thrashing JNU Students' Union President Kanhaiya Kumar. The notice was served after a separate PIL was filed by senior lawyer Kamini Jaiswal.
The Supreme Court has issued a notice to the Union government and the Delhi police over the Patiala House Court violence. The court also issued contempt notices to the 3 lawyers, Vikram Singh Chauhan, Yashpal Singh and Om Sharma, who allegedly were front and center of the violence inside the court complex. The court said this while hearing a PIL filed by senior lawyer Kamini Jaiswal. The PIL also says the 3 advocates have allegedly admitted to their involvement in the incident.
कानूनी लड़ाई के तहत जो कानूनी प्रक्रिया होगी उसके तहत गुजरेंगे हम लोग। हमें इस कानून पे, संविधान पे, सुप्रीम कोर्ट में, न्यायालय पे, सब पे भरोसा है हमें। भारत माता की जय बोलने के लिए मेरे को तो कभी खेद होगा नहीं, ना आज तक हुआ है, ना आगे कभी होगा, ना किसी आम हिंदुस्तानी को।
Meanwhile, Delhi police interrogated JNU Student Union President Kanhaiya Kumar, Umar Khalid and Anirban Bhattacharya together for 5 hours today. The interrogation is being conducted by at least 2 teams, which will try to ascertain the timeline of events leading up to the controversial Pro-Afzal event at the university.
JNU मामले में कन्हैया को 1 दिन के पुलिस रिमांड पे लिया गया है तफ्तीश चल रही है, जिसमें जो बाकी जो 2 मुलजिम हमारे पास पुलिस कस्टडी में है, उमर खालिद और अरिबन भट्टाचार्य, इन तीनों से कन्फ्रंट करा के आगे की तफ्तीश जारी है।
While Kanhaiya Kumar was arrested on 12th of February and sent to judicial custody, Khalid and Anirban surrendered before the police this Monday. All three have been charged with sedition and criminal conspiracy. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Meanwhile, an inquiry team set up by the Haryana government today arrived in Murthal to verify, in fact, the reports of alleged gang rapes during the Jat quota agitation. The Delhi Commission for Women also appealed to possible victims to approach the body for legal justice and support. Meanwhile, the Haryana DGP has set up a 3 women police officers team to receive complaints regarding the alleged incidents. This was after the Punjab and Haryana High Court asked police and the government to file a report after a suo motu cognizance of the issue. Over 104 students of a Zilla Parishad school in Maharashtra's Palghar district were taken to hospital as they complained of severe stomach ache after consuming their midday meals. The students were served khichdi by the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, or ISKCON, and within half an hour of having the lunch, students complained of stomach ache, nausea and giddiness. However, out of the 280 students who consumed the food, 104 were hospitalized and the others were discharged. After being informed, the police and the Revenue and Health Department officials arrived at the school, and the police has now registered a case while samples of the food have been sent for testing.
इस्कॉनचे जे दुपारचा त्यांचा डब्बा येतो त्या डब्बा खाल्यानंतर त्यांना विषबाधा झाली असं मला समजलं. मी तात्काळ शाळेत गेले असता टोटली पोरांना विषबाधा झाली.
सर किती मुलं आहेत सध्या, तुम्ही पालक म्हणून काय विचार करायचा?
सर हे विषबाधा होत असेल तर इस्कॉन कंपनीवर गुन्हा दाखल झाला पाहिजे असं माझी वैयक्तिक इच्छा.
In other news, Pakistan has set up a 5-member joint investigation team to investigate the Pathankot Air Base attack. Pakistan's decision to set up a team comes a week after it lodged an FIR into the incident without naming the Jaish-e-Mohammed chief Masood Azhar, who India has accused of having masterminded the attack. The JIT will visit the airbase next month to gather evidence subject to permission by the government to conduct its own investigation. Pakistan has earlier constituted a 6-member team to investigate into the matter, but now it's become dysfunctional after the government announced a setting up of a JIT. 6 terrorists attacked the Pathankot Air Base on the 2nd of January and also led to the postponement of a scheduled meeting between the foreign secretaries of Pakistan and India in January in Islamabad. Since then, no date has been fixed for the talks. With that, let's take you through what else made news across the country today in Nationwide. Former Union Minister of State for Coal Dilip Ray and 2 others were today granted bail. The court summoned Ray as an accused in the case pertaining to the alleged irregularities in the allocation of coal blocks in 1999. The bail was granted on a personal bond of 1 lakh rupees and a surety of the like amount. The court has fixed the 1st of April for scrutiny of documents. Police arrested 9 DMK councillors after they clashed with AIADMK members during the budget session of the Coimbatore Corporation Council. Trouble erupted after the presentation of a 76 crore deficit budget. The DMK members raised slogans seeking a white paper on the accounts, followed by a clash between the 2 parties. The Supreme Court directed the central government to find ways and means to block child pornography. The Apex Court also said that the nation cannot afford to carry on experiments with children in the name of liberty and freedom of speech. The government responded by saying that it's committed to blocking websites hosting child pornography. 7 people were killed and 26 injured when a bus fell into a 250 feet deep gorge in Sirmaur district of Himachal Pradesh on Thursday. While the injured were rushed to the local government hospital, the bodies of those killed will be handed over to their families after the post-mortem. An inquiry will be conducted to ascertain the cause of the accident. With that, a quick break here. We'll be back with more news. Do stay with us.
NDA government's 3rd budget. Will it be a path-breaking one? Will it fuel the government's development thrust? Watch the brightest minds dissect budget proposals. 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. on February 29th on Rajya Sabha television.
Welcome back. Let's get you some international news now. In a month after economic sanctions were lifted, Iran went to polls on Friday to vote for two key elections, a new parliament and an assembly of experts. The vote is being seen as a referendum on President Hassan Rouhani's rule.
Millions of Iranians went to the polls on Friday to elect new members of parliament. The vote is also being seen as a referendum on President Hassan Rouhani's rule. Voters will also select 88 clerics to the Assembly of Experts, a body that monitors the work of Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. 76-year-old Khamenei has a history of health issues, making the role of this elected body crucial.
Incoming reports indicate full security prevailing all across the country, and the incoming reports also indicate people's massive turnout at the polling stations.
Almost 55 million people are eligible to cast ballots and will choose 290 MPs for 4-year terms. Among the most pressing issues are the economy, foreign affairs and human rights.
من به خاطر اینکه نگران بچه‌هام هستم، نگران اشتغال جامعه هستم، به عنوان ایرانی احساس مسئولیت میکنم شرکت کنم، کسایی رو که انتخاب بکنم که اشتغال و اقتصاد جامعه رو درست کنم.
مهمترین مسئله برای شخص من آرامش و امنیت من هست و من فکر میکنم این آرامش و امنیت در گروه همین رأیه که من توی صندوق میندازم تا کشورهای بیگانه بدونن که راهی به این مملکت ندارند.
The election will see supporters of President Hassan Rouhani, who championed the nuclear deal, pitted against conservatives who are deeply opposed to improving relations with Western powers. A friendly parliament could strengthen Rouhani's hand to push through economic reforms to open up the country to foreign trade and investment. It can also help the government carry out a political agenda aimed at expanding social and economic liberties as promised during his 2013 election campaign. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Now, hours before US-Russia brokered ceasefire deal comes into effect, Russia continued to bomb what it called terrorists in parts of Syria. The Syrian Observatory for Human Rights Monitoring Group said that the Russian airstrikes were more intense than usual as they hit rebel bastions near Damascus, and Aleppo. In fact, US President Barack Obama said that an end to the conflict in Syria will be key to dismantling the Islamic State group. Obama said the US can do and will do everything it can to make a ceasefire in Syria succeed, despite significant question marks over whether the agreement will hold. Meanwhile, the United Nations said that it has made progress in delivering humanitarian aid to besieged areas of Syria and remain optimistic that more people in the war-torn country will be helped as soon as the ceasefire is implemented effectively.
Indeed, the fight in Syria is not only a civil war, but it's also a proxy war between regional powers, reflecting deep sectarian and political rivalries.
As we all hope the cessation of hostilities take hold effectively, they will have an impact on the acceleration of reaching the people in need in Syria, not only in the besieged areas, but everywhere.
And now let's get you some more international news updates in Global Buzz. At least 15 people were killed after two suicide bombers blew themselves up at a Shiite mosque in Baghdad. 50 other people were injured in the blast. The first bomber detonated his vest inside the mosque and the second blew himself up when security forces gathered at the site of the initial blast. The attack was claimed by the Islamic State militants. A gunman killed at least 4 people at a lawn mower factory in Kansas in Los Angeles in the US. The shooting left 30 people wounded. The shooter appeared to have driven around in a car, opening fire at several locations before entering the building of a lawnmower manufacturer. The gunman was, however, later gunned down by the police. Explosives retrieved from Boko Haram militants exploded accidentally at a police station in Nigeria's northern city of Yola, killing 4 people and driving a shattered glass into officers and school children. The devices stored in a police station went off when an officer tried to move them. Let's change tracks. Get you all the latest from the world of sports now in Sports Beat. The 41-match winning streak of Indian tennis ace Sania Mirza and her Swiss partner Martina Hingis came to an end after the duo lost the quarterfinal of the Qatar Open. The top seeds lost against the Russian pair of Elina Vesnina and Darya Kasatkina 6-2, 4-6, 5-10 to bow out of the tournament. World number 1 Novak Djokovic retired from a Dubai Championships match against Feliciano Lopez following an eye problem. The Serb lost the first set 3-6 and was unable to continue playing, ending his run of the ATP World Tour Finals. However, Stan Wawrinka and Nick Kyrgios advanced to the semi-finals. Football's world governing body, FIFA, will elect a new president today. 207 delegates from around the world have gathered in Zurich to vote for a successor to Sepp Blatter. 5 candidates are in the running for the post, with Sheikh Salman bin Ibrahim Al Khalifa and Gianni Infantino as the frontrunners. And finally, the 5-year-old Messi fan in Afghanistan, Murtaza Ahmadi, is a happy child today after receiving not 1 but 2 jerseys from Argentine football star Lionel Messi himself. Ahmadi became an internet sensation last month when he was pictured wearing a plastic bag with Messi scrawled on it in a marker pen. The pictures, of course, reached the soccer hero, who now sent the gifts through UNICEF. We're leaving you with these pictures.